What is going on, everybody? Matitude22 here today, bringing you guys another figure review. Guys, if you saw the last video, I told you what we were going to be doing. I told you we were going to be doing the whole Captain Marvel wave. Get in there, Gargoyle. Come on. I told you we were going to just be knocking this whole wave out in one shot, just to save time and whatnot. So we're gonna kind of just do that. I got all the packages here. Really quick, I don't have the Captain Marvel with the jacket. I mean, of course, I did acquire that figure. I did get the whole wave, but I gave that figure to my daughter because didn't really need two Captain Marvels. So let's just get right into it. I got the first package we're gonna look at, and that is Captain Marvel. So you can't see Captain Marvel right there with the Captain Marvel logo, and nice shot of Captain Marvel on the side. You got all the figures in the wave down at the bottom. See a nice shot of Captain Marvel herself and a brief bio right there in a couple different languages. If you want to read that, of course, pause this video now. So there you go. Get that out of the way. All right, looking at the figure for starters. Don't care for the face at all. I don't think it looks like Brie Larson to any degree. And what I will say is, this figure looks like she wants to speak to the manager. I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that. Hair doesn't really match either. The shading on the hair, it's a very dark brown, when Captain Marvel's supposed to have kind of a blonde hair. I guess she's kind of dirty blonde in the movie, but I wouldn't even classify this as dirty blonde. I would just go ahead and say that this is a brown hair. All right, looking at the overall architecture of the figure, I think she's pretty good. There's a lot of nice texturing going on the suit, so it's not just kind of a plain body, almost like gray Gargoyle. There is some nice texturing and whatnot. There is a little red coming through right there, which is not the worst, but it is obviously something to note. Other than that, I think mine at least is painted pretty well. Some of the gold doesn't translate very well, but for the most part, I think they did a good job. Yeah, I would say they did a pretty good job for the most part. There you go, and like I said, there's some nice sculpting on the figure. Other than that, just a plain, nothing really added on. Articulation, the head moves side to side, get a forward and back. Arm moves up and down, moves in this far, out that far. We got a swivel in the elbow, single jointed elbow, wrist rotation, wrist hinge. She's got a diaphragm joint. Hips move out this far, kicks this far forward. Doesn't really kick back. Got thigh swivel. We got a pretty effective double jointed knee. And we have ankle pivot and ankle rocker. I would say this is a decent figure. I would say I like this figure. Well, this elbow too, it's a little messed up. It kind of, well, actually this one too, they move all the way back, so is what it is. And she does have small shoulder pads, which are soft rubber, so they won't inhibit the articulation to any degree. So you can see that still moves seamlessly. So good job right there. Other than that, like I said, not too much more to say about this figure. She does come with some other I can't talk today. Does come with some other accessories, so you can see here in this baggie, which I'm not going to be removing because why do I need to? She comes with two open flying hands, and she comes with the more masked head with the mohawk, which is cool and stuff, but I mean, she didn't really rock it that much in the movie. She kind of mainly did the helmetless look, so that's kind of how I have her. then I'm just kind of okay with that. So, yeah, pretty decent figure. I would say the Captain Marvel is kind of not a great wave, but I would say Captain Marvel is probably one of the ones you might want to pick up just to kind of say you have her. You have a Captain Marvel. Other than that, it's kind of whatever. It's kind of your discretion. All right, next we have Talos. I'm not going to go over the whole box again. Just going to kind of go. There's a bio. Of course, again, feel free to pause this video if you want to read it. Nice shot of Talos. Get rid of the box. All right, this is a interesting figure because I think the face sculpt is, can you focus, is really good. I think they did a really, really good job on the face of, a little closer, on the face of Talos. I love the shading of the black on the head and even all the black and the purple around the mouth, which is really good. And you can see there's some nice texturing on the bottom. This costume also has some texturing on it, so it kind of gives it some, characteristic, kind of gives it some feel. Hands, he just comes with open hands. Talos is like, doesn't come with any accessories in addition to the Build-A-Figure piece, which obviously we'll talk about the whole Build-A-Figure. He doesn't really come with too much else. You can see it's got nice purple mixed in with the black. I think it looks really good. I think if you wanted to, you could probably, you could definitely get this whole thing off. That comes off of here. I think you'd have to pop the head off, but you definitely can. I don't know. I'm assuming because they built little tabs that you peg in, I'm assuming they intended for that. Like they wanted to give you the option, but I think it looks really cool like that. I would just kind of, I don't know, if it was me, I would just kind of leave that on. But it's your toys. You can do what you want, and you can see where the wrists are. There's a little bit of silver. Focus. It's because kind of everything in the background is having a hard time focusing, but very cool figure, and I dig the boots. No paint on the boots whatsoever, which is all right, I guess. Fingernails also not painted, but you can kind of see them sculpted. So I'll just kind of go over Talos' articulation, and that'll be it. Because the rest, it's the same. It's almost the same body. It's not the same body, but it's the same degree of articulation. You don't need to see it 4 more times. That's what I'm trying to say. So head moves side to side, moves forward and back. It is on a ball peg on a neck disc. So you can get very nice range of motion on that. Arm moves up to here. Moves in this far, out that far. He's got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which works really well on Talos. They really got a good range of motion on that. I think they really did a good job with that. Wrist rotation and wrist hinge. He's got a waist twist underneath this coat and an ab crunch, which you can't really do with the jacket on. But again, it's there. It's there. Same thing. He's got the double jointed knee. You can clearly see it has 2 joints, but with this thing on, it definitely, it's a softer plastic, but it still is going to kind of get in the way of the articulation. So I think that's why they took it off. They gave you the option to remove it if you want to get him more posed more dynamically. Got a thigh swivel, ankle pivot, and ankle rocker. Kind of a misstep with this figure. I really feel like he should have come with something like the Skrulls use guns in the movie. I don't know why he didn't come with a gun, or I mean, he could have even come with anything if they would have even given him the lunchbox with the core or whatever it is. I don't really remember what they're looking for, but it just would have been nice to give them something, just to have something. But they obviously, Hasbro opted not to. That's their choice, not mine. All right, looking at our first comic figure, we have Jennas Bell. Again, there is the bio. Feel free to pause this video and read that if you want. Alright, Jennas Bell for starters. He's on the Hyperion mold. I do believe, I could be wrong about that. I don't think that's a good mold to any degree. But really, really digging the paint on this guy. I like the black with the stars. Obviously, it's supposed to simulate outer space, which does look pretty cool. The shoulder pads are a nice touch. I like the forest green. It's not really glossy or sparkly, but it's kind of almost metallic. Just like the dot, the circle in the center. Yeah, you can see right there. A little, I don't know. It's I don't even know what you want to call that. That's up to you. That's up to you. I'll let your imaginations decipher that. It's like a nice metallic. Boots or legs are not sculpted. Again, it's just painted. It's just a blank body, just kind of painted, which is always whatever. I feel bad. If a parent took their kid to the store and bought them any of the figures from these wave, I feel really bad because these are just not really good figures to any degree. Very loose on the top. Don't know why he just came like that out of packaging, so that's always disappointing. Again, face sculpt is okay. It's pretty plain. It's got the helmet, so other than that, it's just white eyes, not much to it. And then he comes with a very cool looking gun, but it's just molded in yellow plastic, so again, nothing really there. I would almost make the argument that this is the worst figure in the wave. I would almost go as far as to say, yeah, he's the worst. Really, nothing special here. So, disappointment. If I do a top 10 or top 20 disappointing figures, bet your ass he'll be on there. Alright, we're rolling on. Let's look at Nick Fury next. Old school young man Nick Fury. So there you go. If you want to read the bio, it's right there. Of course, pause the video at your discretion, at your leisure. Read it at your leisure. First thing to note, I gave him the cat that comes with the goose that comes with the jacket, Captain Marvel versus the goose in the shackles. Again, I gave that one to my daughter, and I think the goose looks nice. I think all in all, this whole wave, I think the goose is probably the best part, and he's definitely a character in this movie. He's definitely got his own personality. I really like the shade they use and his belly, furry. The eyes look really dope. My camera would focus. There you go. I think that's probably the best part. Other than that, again, this Nick Fury, wildly unimpressive. He comes with a pathetic, measly looking gun, which, despite having the trigger hand, the hole for the trigger is so small, his finger can barely fit in the hole. Again, this is a family channel. Get your mind out of the gutter, guys. Come on. There you go. See, there you go. It's gets in there. Like I said, the gun looks really small and pathetic. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, other than that, it's just a suited body, no really sculpting. A little bit of ridges, like ruffles. Like it looks like his suit doesn't fit quite right. I don't know why, but he's got the glossy shoes. Those are nice. Other than that, I think the young man Nick Fury face sculpt is pretty good. I will say that. I think they did do a pretty good job with that. So I'm okay with it. Other than that, it's just a suited body. If you move the jacket, you can see he's got a little something going on down there. And then on the other side, same thing. You can see that little, like almost like a holster for his gun. And they got a little paint on the belt buckle, so that's kind of a nice touch. I would rather have the paint than not have it. I mean, I would say that this figure is just kind of middle of the road. I wouldn't say he's good, but I wouldn't say he's bad. Again, the top half just really, really loose. Like I said, I gave him the more playful and adorable goose, as opposed to the shackled one that came with him. Because I like this goose better, and that's the goose I want in my display. And it looks like he's ready to shoot some Kree or some gangsters. Because he's also, Nick Fury is also Shaft. So there you go. Keeping it moving. We're gonna do Yon-Rogg next. Same deal, guys. There's the bio. You know what to do. I don't need to say it at this point. Yon-Rogg, again, I would say is a boring figure. This is kind of your Captain Marvel villain figure. I don't think I have to say spoilers. The movie has been out over a year. So he's kind of like your villain. So if you want to have some Captain Marvel love on that villain shelf, then this is when you got to get him and Minerva. Same kind of deal, same kind of texturing that was on Captain Marvel, almost the same idea as here. He does have the Star Force color scheme because he is a member of Star Force. He's their leader. Okay, another thing missing the mark. Gun is good. No paint on it, which is fine. We're used to no paint on the guns, so it's not like it's horribly deterring. It's not like it's not like, oh my god, like I can't handle it. It's just fine. It's just average. I think he should have come with an unmasked head, because just like Captain Marvel, he didn't wear the mask a lot. So I'd love to have him maskless on the shelf, but obviously we can't do that. The other misfire, not giving us the other, is it 3? I think it's 3 members of Star Force, because you got the big guy, the big old looking guy, and then you got the Asian guy, and then you got Korath. Is it just those 3? Yeah, hopefully they'll give us a 3-pack so we can kind of complete our Star Force. That would be cool. Again, very, very so-so figure. I don't even think the head sculpt is good. I don't even think the sculpt on the mask is good to any degree. I think it looks stupid. Paint is okay. I'll give it that. The paint is okay on this, but other than that, just kind of a very boring figure. But again, I would kind of say this one's worth picking up because he is the villain in the movie. So just to kind of put him on your MCU villain shelf if you're into that. I know I am. Alright, the last figure in this wave, which almost feels like a relief because, as I stressed before, this wave is not terribly good. We have Grey Gargoyle, the other comic figure. Again, there is the bio. Feel free to pause this video and read it. Alright, Grey Gargoyle, typically an Iron Man villain, so I think they just kind of threw him in here because they needed a spot for Grey Gargoyle, but thank God, because he really pulls this wave through. I freaking love this figure. I think the face sculpt is excellent. I mean, really good face sculpt. I really love the cape, which is almost like a translucent, but it's still got that concrete look to it. Like, you really get the feel that this guy is stone, that this guy is concrete. I mean, he's all molded in just the one color, and the feet and the hands are painted, but despite that, I really think they did a good job. And I like that they enclose some straps to hold the cape on, so it's not just something that pegs on, because I feel like when they just, which it does peg on, I feel like when they just do the pegs, it tends to fall off, or it tends to not peg in right. As you can see in this case, it does not peg in right. I don't know why. But there you go. I love you could see that. I love that he's got the grin. You can see the teeth. This is probably the other must-get figure, just because he kind of goes with that classic Iron Man TV show team with Grey Gargoyle and Blizzard and Living Laser. I still need to get Dread Knight. There's a couple other characters, but not all of them have been made. And Gargoyle's a great classic Marvel villain, so really happy to have this figure. And like I said, I love that the cape is kind of translucent. Here, not so much, but just the deco, the concrete, the stone-looking deco, they really, really killed it with that. So hands off to Hasbro for that. And the sculpt on the hair is good. He's got the flat top. Just really excellent figure. The feet, no paint on the toenails, but that's okay because these are supposed to be boots. Like I already mentioned, they're already just painted on, but I don't mind it as much. Here, it bothered me more on Yanrog because I think Yanrog. Well, I mean, they could have given him some sculpted boots. They could have done that, but the feet are a separate piece. That's what I'm trying to say. The feet are a separate piece. Actually, no. No, not really. It's just same idea as Yanrog, actually. So there you go. Yeah, so maybe they should have given him some sculpted boots and some sculpted feet, but they didn't. But this is a classic comic figure, so I'm really happy to have him. I'm actually happy to have Jennas Bell. I'm happy to have Jennas Bell too, despite the fact that the figure is not favorable. Again, any classic comic book character, I'm just really, really happy to have. All right, now let's look at this. This is the Kree Sentry, obviously the Build-A-Figure. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know that I ever had Kree Sentry on the top of my Marvel Legends wish list, but there you go. We have one, man. He almost looks like a crappier Sentinel. The face is awful. It feels like it really looks like a kid's toy. I don't care for the eyes. Actually, the metallic purple is nice. The metallic purple paint is nice. I think that's where it ends. Other than that, this figure is very bland. The silver is kind of boring. There's a lot of texturing and a lot of different sculpting on him, which is nice. Like you can see the arms look really big, really thick, really cool. The hands, some nice sculpting on the feet. Other than that, that's just kind of it. He's got a little pathetic jetpack. I don't even know how that jetpack would carry around this monstrosity. But I think it's just ultimately... I think it's just ultimately the face that kills it. The face just feels like it should be a kid's toy. But you know what? All things considered, this isn't the worst Build-A-Figure. I feel like we've seen worse Build-A-Figures. I would make the argument that I like this guy more than the Lizard. And that's just me. That's just me. Obviously, I was not a big fan of the Lizard, but I think this figure does a trick, man. I really think they did a good job here. I think they did the best job they could for such a unimportant, undesirable character. I'm gonna say it like that. I think they did the best job they could for a character nobody wanted. That's just it. I don't have too much else to say. Articulation, the head moves forward and back, side to side. Arm moves in there. Doesn't move forward. Obviously only a slight bend, a single jointed bend in the elbow. No bicep swivel, but the hand does rotate and hinge. He's got the diaphragm joint, which you can do anything you want with that, really. Hips move out this far, kicks this far forward, kicks that far back. Double jointed knee. The double jointed knee on the Build-A-Figure always impresses me. So, and the ankle does hinge forward and back, and he does kind of have ankle rockers. So there you go. Like I said, not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this figure. I don't hate it, but it's just kind of there. It's just kind of something to throw on the shelf. This isn't something where I'm like, yeah, like finally we're getting a Kree Sentry. Like, it feels like we've been waiting forever for Hasbro to give us a Kree Sentry. I feel like this figure is just kind of there. He's just kind of almost like the Mandroid. Like the Mandroid was pretty lame too. Just in the same way that the Mandroid was just a figure that was there. I feel like this guy is too, but that is it. That is your Captain Marvel wave. Obviously minus the Captain Marvel with the jacket. Again, almost the same exact as this figure. Just she comes with a brown bomber jacket. Solid wave, but in the overall landscape of the figures this year, I would say, I would almost say that this wave is kind of one of the worst, but maybe not the worst. I don't know yet. Yeah, so far, I think it was actually last year, so this was maybe one of the worst waves of last year. Or was it this year? I don't know. I don't remember. No, I think it was this year. I don't remember, guys. It all just blends together. But anyway, I hope you liked this video, guys. As always, if you did, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out the social media links in the description. And guys, I want to invite you once again, head over to Facebook. Check out the Sanctuary on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you check out Clickbait Wrestling on Facebook and on YouTube. I hope you like this style of we're doing the whole wave. Probably going to start doing more of that just because the amount of stuff I have to review is just really getting overwhelming. I'm really starting to get overwhelmed. So I'm going to try to start knocking stuff out in more group videos. So I hope you guys are okay with that. And on that note, next video, guys. Next video, since I think the reception was relatively positive, I think we are going to do a good old-fashioned action figure extravaganza. So we'll have some various figures coming up next. But that is it anyway. Of course, if you didn't like the video, of course, guys, feel free to thumbs it down. That's totally fine because you have every right to... You don't have to like the video. If you don't like it, you can thumbs it down. That's totally okay. But hopefully, if you do, hopefully you come back and check out the next video, which, like I said, it's going to be an action figure extravaganza. So make sure you come check that out. That is it for me, guys. Have a great day. Have a great day, whatever it is you're doing today, and I will catch you next time. Have a great day. I think I've already said that like 3 times, but all right, I'm out. Bye.